Welcome to Target Market Insights, the multifamily and marketing podcast. Each week, John Casmon interviews multifamily and marketing experts to teach you how to find the best places to invest, attract investors, and grow your portfolio. You are listening to Target Market Insights with your host, John Casmon.
Welcome to Target Market Insights. I'm your man, John Casmon, and this is a very special episode. We're going to be talking about 2020 planning, resources that you need, and recapping some of the best episodes of 2019. So real quick before we jump into that, I got a couple of things going. So right now we are doing a special holiday giveaway. We've got a 5-day holiday giveaway. So check that out right now. And we have some great prizes, including our Rich Life Planner, which I'm going to dive into in a moment here. We got some books we're giving away, some coaching sessions. All you have to do is leave a 5-star rating and review for Target Market Insights. Take a screen grab of that, share it with me, and you'll be entered into the drawing to win our daily prize. All right. Now, we got a couple of things going on too, okay? So we have a bunch of events coming up for 2020, including the Midwest Real Estate Networking Summit. We've got the Best Ever Conference, which we're going to be attending, hosted by Joe Fairless and his crew over there. So really excited to go to that event out there in Keystone, Colorado, and really excited for all the things that 2020 has to offer. So let's start off by highlighting a couple of things that happened in 2019. So just to recap from a personal standpoint, we moved from Chicago to Cincinnati and really excited about what 2020 has to offer. The podcast, we've gone from once a week to twice a week, now bringing in more of a marketing perspective and highlighting ways to create content, drive up your social media following, your social media engagement, and really just find ways to work with investors, attract capital for deals, and be a better marketer, whether you are, a multifamily investor or you're an entrepreneur with a different business altogether. And then the other piece that we're really working on as we go forward with this show is making sure we're providing the right value, the right kind of content, and procuring the right kind of guests that can help you elevate your business. So as we look at 2020, if there are guests that you want to talk to or topics that you want to learn more about, let us know so we can get those guests lined up for future episodes of Target Market Insights. All right, let's get into 2020 planning. So a lot of people right now are thinking about, the year that they've had, how to get ready for 2020 planning, goal setting, and going through kind of their routine. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what we do, what I do from a routine standpoint, what I'm changing up, and give you some ideas of maybe some things that you can incorporate as you get into your 2020 planning. And I would say the first thing is don't focus on 2020. 1 year is just another year. It's a big year. But I would say we have a new decade coming upon us, and it's a great opportunity to think long term, think deep into the future as far as what do you want for your life? What are you looking for in 2030? So for us, we're really starting in 2030, our 2030 vision, where my kids are both teenagers. They're little boys now, but they'll be teenagers at that point. So what is the life that I'm looking to create? What is the lifestyle? How much flexibility do I want? What is my marriage life? What is my portfolio like? So really starting with 2030 in mind, and then kind of building backwards to all the things I need to do to build up to that. So one of the first things you could do when you are trying to think about goal setting from that perspective is creating a vision board. So I've created a vision board every year for the last 4 years, and it's very helpful to take the things that you want to accomplish, create a vision board, putting those images that you see and going ahead and putting them somewhere where you can see those things every single day. So whether that's the house you want, the family you want, the vacations you want to take, the clothes you want, the car you want, the health, the fitness, the food you want to eat, all those things, creating a vision board is a great way. And it's a fun activity that you can do with your family and friends to start to really think through the lifestyle that you want to create. Again, not just for the next year, but 10 years down the road. So start with the vision board. That's a great way. Another great thing to do is get a planner. Now, I have a couple different planners here. If you've been following me on Instagram or anywhere really, you've seen me pull this thing out, right? So there you go. This is our Rich Life Planner. We're giving this one away later on today as a part of our 5-day giveaway. But this thing is just filled with information that allows you to be very detailed as far as who you want to be in the future and all the steps that you want to take to build out your goals and what you want to accomplish. So the planner is a great way to do that. Outside of the planner, there's another planner here that's a little shorter. This 90 Days of Intention Journal is another great tool to really help you get your mind together as far as what you want to accomplish and the goals that you have in mind. What is it going to take to accomplish those things? What are the steps you need to take on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis? And it gives you a game plan to go out there and actually accomplish them. So thinking about getting a planner that will allow you to really think through your goals, what you're trying to accomplish, that's a great step to get your thoughts together and set yourself up for a successful 2020. Now, outside of goals and journals, ultimately, we are creatures of habits. We are a result of the habits and the systems that we create. And if anyone's trying to create better habits, maybe you have some different New Year's resolutions or some different goals, I highly recommend the book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. So this book right here is a phenomenal book. So this is a great book to really help you understand the small changes that are necessary to create the lifestyle and the results that many of us are looking for. It's not so much that we want to have these wholesale changes in our life, but it's really the habits that we fall into. So we have to create great habits, and we have to make it easy to do the habits that we want. And then if there are habits that we want to quit, we have to find ways to make it very difficult to do and engage in those habits. And the book gives some very good practical information of how to create better habits. So highly recommend Atomic Habits as a great resource to help you for anyone who's looking to change their habits or create a better lifestyle for what they're trying to do. I want to talk about some other books, okay? So we had a bunch of guests. Every guest asked them the same set of questions, and we asked them, what's the best book or the book you've recommended or gifted the most in the last year? And we've had a great list of answers here, and I want to read off some of the more common answers we get. So the first one that we get all the time is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. That is a great book for sure. It's an excellent book that we highly recommend. If you haven't read it, you should absolutely check that out. Another one is Miracle Morning by Elrod. Hal is a great story of overcoming his challenges in life, and really is his morning routine that has made it an absolute best-selling book, and something that many guests talk about is really winning the day. Waking up early, creating that time to do your meditation, to get an exercise in, to do your journaling, to really go out there and visualize the life you want, what your day looks like, what success looks like. But going through that process is another great book. So definitely recommend Miracle Morning. The other ones are Traction by Gino Wickman, especially if you're working in a business, creating the systems and processes to allow you to grow. Principles by Ray Dalio. The Best Ever Apartment Syndication book is another great book by Fairless and Theo Hicks. That book has been highly recommended by many people. Anybody looking to get into apartment syndication, whether you want to be an operator or you just want to be a passive investor, I think it's a really good book to understand holistically what to look for and how to build a syndication business. The other book that I highly recommend from our listeners and our guests is Building a StoryBrand by Donald Miller. That's a great book as well when you talk about how to tell stories as marketers. How do we tell stories? How do we, position ourselves in a way where we are very compelling and we can connect and engage with other folks? So that's another great book there. And then lastly, I would say, when we look at, resources, a lot of the resources that people mentioned on the show were CRM systems. So I would say there's a handful of CRM systems that are great. HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp. Those are three that are highly recommended. If you are looking to build a business of any sort, you need to have a CRM system to stay connected to your investors, your clients. So find a CRM system that you like and figure out the right cadence of messages to engage with them. But a CRM system is critical. And then the other piece that you need is you need the resources and the tools. So, how do you stay on top of all the information, all the documents? There's Google Docs, there's Dropbox, there's Slack. So you think about productivity and communication. Those are 3 more really good tools that a lot of people recommended on the show. So when you're working on your 2020 planning, it really starts with understanding the long-term perspective of what you're trying to accomplish. And then I would say from there, starting to break it down by the year. So then once you know what you want to do in 2030 or what your life looks like in 2030, you can then focus on what 2020 looks like. Then you can focus on what you need to do in the month of January. You can focus on what you need to do that first week of January, and then what you need to accomplish that first day. So, here's some great tools, some great resources to help you get clarity on that. There's some great podcast episodes you can listen to as well. We have Brian Burke and Neil Bawa give phenomenal interviews on how they find the best places to invest. That's episode 80 for Brian Burke, episode 99 for Neil Bawa. We had Amy Wan and Kim Lisa Taylor give great information on what you need to know from a legal aspect when it comes to the SEC regulations. That's episode 86 and episode 97. We had Annie Dickerson and Richard C. Wilson talk about how they attract capital for deals. Richard's episode was episode 104. Annie's was 111. Christina Daves came on talking about PR, episode 113. And then if you're trying to grow your social media following, Rashana Scott had a great episode on Instagram and growing your Instagram followers on episode 115. And then Yona Weiss talked about it on episode 123 for LinkedIn. And then we had a couple guys talk greatly about creating content, compelling content. John D. Saunders, episode 141, Travis Chappell, episode 131. So some phenomenal episodes there to check out if you're looking to figure out how do you grow in any one of those spaces. So with that said, we hope you're having a great day. We hope you are prepping yourself for a prosperous 2020 and 2030. So making sure you have a great decade. And on top of that, just really setting yourself up for the life that you want to create. So these are some great resources that have helped us. We hope they help you. And then I'll give one more book recommendation that we didn't talk about, and it is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Cruz, I believe is his name, or Ruiz. Don Ruiz Miguel. I think that's it. But the book was great. It's an excellent book on, what to do for yourself and really internalizing what you need when it comes to setting the principles for yourself. So make sure you check that book out as well. It's a great tool. And with that said, we hope you have a great end of the year. Happy holidays to you and your family. And thank you for checking out this episode of Target Market Insights.